Hi, Michael. Thanks for taking the time. I'm from Deadline Film Magazine in Germany. Werewolf, thanks for the beautiful movie Werewolf by Night. It has a little bit Universal monster movie vibes. Also, it's a little bit of a deconstruction. What were you most interested in when you started working on the movie?
Well, I mean, I grew up on those movies. I grew up on the Universal films, the Hammer films. I love monster movies in general. I love what they have to say. I love that they're allegories for, the problems we have in our own life. And, any of these characters in any monster movie, the monster is always the most interesting because they're the one with the problem, right? And they're the one that we can identify the most with, I think, because they're outwardly struggling with something that's inherently really hard to control. And I think that's something in our own life that we always look at. Every one of us has our own problems and our own issues and things that we need to look at and deal with and try to figure out. And monster movies sort of do that in a big way. And I always loved that. And growing up as a kid, it was a way to empathize with someone who has a problem, and is trying to fix it. But it's always very difficult, as you see. If you've seen any monster movie, it's always hard for them to kind of figure it out. And I mean, even big monsters like Godzilla and all of these guys, they don't want to be running around killing people. It's not, it's not something that is within their control. And that's the thing that attracts me, is just exploring that idea of control and trying to just solve your problems. It's always so empathetic. I find it.
Of course, as the title says, in the center of the monsters is the werewolf. What interests you about the myth behind the werewolf? Why is he maybe the most interesting?
He's always been one of the most interesting characters in terms of the monsters, at least for me. And that's why I think it's been done so many times in so many ways, because this idea of somebody that has this recurring problem that keeps coming back, and they can't deal with it. And it's always interesting to see how a person deals with their issues like that. If I were turning into some crazy thing every month, how would I deal with that? Would I lock myself up? Would I, to protect the people around me? Would I just, throw caution into the wind and see what happens? I don't know. Every character is different. Every person's different how they handle it. So to me, as a fan of the comics from the 70s, Werewolf by Night, I always loved watching, oh man, what is he going to do now? It's another full moon. What is he going to do now? And here's somebody, struggling with that balance of wanting to live life, but also not fully being able to. So I think that that's very interesting to me, is just looking at that aspect of the character.
Is it easier or more difficult to score the music for a movie you made?
It's about the same, actually. The only difference was, normally I have a director that I'm working with, and we can bounce ideas off each other. And in this case, I was worried. I was thinking, oh no, I don't have that person now. It's just me. I'll be arguing with myself. But I worked with an incredible editor, Jeff Ford, Jeff and I have done many movies together over the years, including a bunch of Marvel ones. And he was such a great balance to run things by, just to make sure I was still on point with what I needed to do. Because when you're directing and not just scoring, you're thinking about the entire thing all the time, every frame, every effect, every line of dialogue, everything that's going on that screen. Whereas when I'm a composer, I can just focus strictly on the emotional aspects of the film.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks. All the best from Germany. Ciao.
Yes, thank you. Good to see you.
Bye.
I like your speeder bike in the back there.
Cool.